timing. Okay, mic testing, mic testing. I don't know if we are working yet, but yeah. So this is the first time. It's not started yet. Okay, yeah. Mic testing, and looks like it's working. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. It says we have been live for 20 seconds now. Uh, this is the first experience that we're going to try doing live. Something really for the first time, to be honest. And yeah, for people who don't know, this is a project 2026 now. Back last year it was 2025, and I have with me my partner in crime, Mr. Anup. How is it?
Hello.
So
Hello, Suraj. How are you?
it's quite good. It's quite good. So the first live is ongoing, and yeah, for people who don't know, whose probably feed is just popped up with new notification of a random YouTube video going live. We are just a bunch of dude who tried to do something interesting last year, and yeah, consequently, thankfully, we continued it until this year. So last year we were reading one book a week. It was a stumbling block of experience. We were doing it well some weeks, not so well the other weeks, but we made it through, and it created a changed men inside of us. What do you say?
Definitely. I agree with you.
Yeah, and because of this change, we have kind of went reached to a point where we thought maybe we should not just read the books, we should probably try and write one. And this is a small bit of experience. People, you're a bit late, but no worries. We are planning to publish it as a blog. This will be something like an next phase. We'll probably get to this in the next meeting as well, but we are at a starting phase of trying to publish our work and rather than just make it a text-based thing so far. And yeah, work on this. Maybe before we go any further, Anup, just to make sure that we are not doing something stupid. Can you
Uh,
hear the video in the YouTube itself? Do you have any idea about that?
yes, yes. Like I checked it like 5 seconds ago. I could listen to it.
Okay, so you can listen to your own voice. Please don't feel cringe because I have got kind of
Uh,
used to feeling cringe.
it's too late.
So as I was introducing, as the tradition is here in our channel this year, Anup with his fantastic story, I have to say, the Trust, always does the starting. And please, Anup, if you would like to continue the tradition, even though there's a bit of change for us with the whole live thingy.
Yes. Okay. Let's continue. So for our viewer, the Thrash is a story about prison, right? And until now, we described the life of multiple prisoners, multiple cellmates, and then we went over the life outside of the trash, right? Where there was a family and there were children and the boy from the family, like he went with his friends outside in the forest, and then they had some sort of adventure, right? Like a dark adventure, but like anyways, then we switched over the trash again. And last week, what happened was that our main character, like M, he was listening to a conversation from some cellmates, and they basically said something that they shouldn't have said apparently, and got um, then they got shot by a dart gun, right? And then like M awoke again, and he was marked. So that was the last um, chapter. Now let me continue. You got marked. Whenever they're confused whether to get rid of one or not, they mark them. Said, you see, you need to be careful now. I haven't seen marked people for a long time hanging around. Whatever GA told you, don't tell me that, or they will come after you. They are now surveilling you more than ever, said UC. Why are they not coming after you? Asked M. I'm going through that door soon enough, anyways. And unlike you guys, I have been here for a long time, said UC. And now let's continue with this week. M stayed silent for a while. He slowly stood up, went to the mirror, and noticed the little X on his neck. He didn't have had any tattoos in his body until now. Hey, besides that part, Hey, besides that part, I saw a lot of commotion happening, said M. Oh, that is because of the excursion that the kids are having. What do you mean by excursion? Asked M. Each year, the guards and the rest of the non-thrashers bring their children here. In a prison? Asked M. You bet. I can only imagine it's their way of warning the kids not to go offshore, said UC. Wait, what are we supposed to do? Asked M. Nothing. In a way, it's like always. The children behave like mini guards. To be frank, they behave quite mature for kids. What? You know, like their parents or the guards. They don't look at you, notice you, or treat as their own. It may be the opportunity to get out of here, thought M. Um, what? Why are you suddenly planning to get out of here? Asked UC. They're talking about cleansing, said M. Then UC was mute. What do you want? What do you know about that? Said M. After a long time, UC said, it's too soon for that. It just happened 20 years ago. Why now? Why so soon? What? Asked M. Forget it. You are already marked. I will tell it to you when the time comes, said UC, and was mute again. M was thinking, why now? Why were they thinking of the cleansing? He needed the trash. He needed it to pay off his debts, to ensure that his mother and children could survive. What now? He asked himself. Dying is not an option. I have to get out. UC is no good. He has already submitted himself to the trash. He won't come out. He won't come out with me or help me getting out of here. Wait a moment. You are saying the kids are coming here for an excursion? Said M. Asked M. Are you retarded or something? Asked UC and was annoyed to repeat again. The stupid kids are coming here and spending a week. Do you know how exactly? I mean, are they being transported by a bus or a vehicle or something? Asked M. The fuck are you asking me these questions for? Replied UC, and he realized just afterwards what his cellmate had on his mind. Forget it. The children are heavily guarded, and it would be impossible to get inside the bus. They will notice it, said UC. Shh, said M. They already marked me. They may be listening to us. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't waste their time and money for surveillance. Just behave normally once you get out of the cell again, said UC. So that's it for this week, Shiraz.
Fascinating, fascinating. Always fascinating. I really like this small dynamic of this prison world, right? Brings me back to this movie Shawshank Redemption that you have created. It's probably going to be something like a Great Escape movie, huh? Some of the
Maybe.
some of the greatest escape movies I can think about would be The Count of Monte Cristo, yeah, and also
Mm-hmm.
Shawshank Redemptions, and hopefully The Rest. I hope there's a happy ending because I'm really getting attached to UC and M. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, Anup, that was a great read. It's always a tough task reading over what you have just read, but I will try. I will try. So for
Yeah,
people
that's yeah.
who don't know, I'm writing this little story called Departure. It's basically about out of space world where space travel has been kind of open source or quite accessible to everyone, and people travel around the world. And our character, whom we are following, have stumbled into one of the world that was under study. So people were monitoring it, theorizing possible life in it, and then yeah, our main character just stumbled there, and the adventure is basically all about it. He has made a friend. They have an AI assistant which helps communication between these two beings who speak completely different languages. There's a bit of hint that the beings in this planet can speak with each other via telepathy and so on. And yeah, I think if you want more detail, then you can wait for some more weeks and we can have it in the blog, or you can just watch back all of our videos if you're not bored in it. So I'll start for this week. Uh, yeah, I slept for I wonder how long. When I regained my consciousness, I could feel myself in the darkness yet again. I could feel like I was still on the soft surface. My sleep was dreamless, but my reality felt more like a dream. Delipit, I uttered nervously. I could feel some movement behind me. Then a soft surface felt on me, almost nudging me. I could make out the silhouette of Delipit in the darkness, reaching out to me. It felt like he pushed me. I started to walk forward. The phosphorescence that was glittering my alien companion. Wait, I am the alien here. My native companion had disappeared, and he was as dark as I was. I walked for some time. I could see a dim light of an exit. Looks like the entrance was much closer than the previous night, I thought to myself. After a few more minutes, I could see the tunnel getting closer and I could make out the light I was seeing. Unlike the radiant glare of the triple star that was shining on this planet, I could see a faint green crystalline light. I could sense the cool ray and comfort it made me feel. I walked for some time more before I could make out that the tunnel led into somewhere bright, but it was not outside. I turned behind me for the first time since waking up and I could see Delipit. He had the same unchanging expression, same shape. In some time we reached the exit. The exit led to an opening. Seeing that opening and having spent God knows how long hours in the dark cramped tunnel, I felt a strange comfort about the place I was reaching to. I could see that the opening led to something like a ridge and surrounding it there were walls. It was like a massive well. I was lightened by crystals all around. When I made out of the tunnel and could see the space for myself, I was astounded. The ridge led to a deep vertical shaft. The shaft was lightened by crystals all over. The crystals were scattered randomly, but it helped in its distribution of light inside the shaft. I could see that I could see the top of the plateau. There were tunnels all over the place that into ridges like this all over the shaft. It was like a massive dome with tunnel networks connecting into the vertical shaft. There were some outgrowths of rocks everywhere. I looked around the shaft and I could see all the way to the bottom. I could see movement and ruckus under, but I could not make out anything. There were other living beings here too, I thought to myself. After some time, I got accustomed to the place and I could see small jellyfish like animals floating around the place. They were giving away a very dim light that needed you to focus. There were other beings too that were attached to the wall of the shaft. They were moving in the draft generated by the depth of the abyss I was in. There were other sparkling beings as well floating around. We go down. See my kind. Delipit spoke in like forever. I looked around but couldn't make out any type of ladder or swing. Delpit jumped from the shaft and jumped down to one of the rocky outgrowths. Like a perfectly practiced jumper, he had landed softly on the rock and looked back. I stood there confused what to do. I was wondering what I would have done. He looked so far away. He even waved at me. Unsure what I must do, I stayed put. Dilipit, probably understanding my disability, jumped back to where I was and lifted me. He carried me once again and jumped through the rocky outgrowth and started to descend. Jumping through all the rocks, he carried me throughout. Unlike the flight with the bird, it felt very comforting to be carried this way. Dilipit had a grace while jumping. He did it ever so softly and landed with utmost lightness, almost natural. To be fair, it felt like I was getting whisked like a princess. I was slightly uncomfortable at the thought of this, but I managed to check my clock finally. Sure, now that the safety of the surrounding has me. It read 20 hours since we left the bird. It had been quite a long time. My body was finally adjusting to the new place and I could feel my body rumble. I was hungry and needed to poop as well. The departure training was very rigorous. We thought it was not very, even though it was not very selective, the completion rate was very little. Not everyone has the same romanticism of space, and many were not willing to sacrifice their life for it. The idea of spending the time floating into the universe with hope of reaching farther than everyone was already recognized as a foolhardy endeavor. However, There are always people who are attracted by by the fair maidens of the space. The departure training program always received hundreds of applicants. The first phase of the course was a do-it-yourself kit. You needed to solve it in order to develop something like a floating drone. The drone would then carry the message to the departure headquarters and you would be selected for the second phase. Since then, there will be five different segments of training until you received graduation. There were no grading, no graduation feast, no special classes, no preparation, nothing. For many, this was simply a part time hobby. You would always find someone who had attempted some part of the departure training to kill their time or simply to challenge themselves. However, once you completed your training, you could graduate and you would finally be able to collaborate with other graduates. The collaboration was the real training. Before you are eligible to join the flight, you are extensively educated on matters of subjects. You would need to sit in a duo of theoretical and practical examinations in topics related from physics, chemistry, linguistics, biology, space legislation, alien studies, and so on. You would study by yourself in online courses and you would request people to train you. There were, however, no formal training whatsoever to prepare you into these exams. Once you appeared in these exams, you would receive your score. You could do nothing but wait. People will randomly be called up for interview sessions and a test flight. The test flight is where your training was completed. So that is it. Yeah,
Oh,
I managed to
that's
write.
nice.
Sorry.
Hmm? No, no, tell me, tell me.
Yeah, I managed to write quite a bit. I was very excited about doing this live session. So yesterday, I
Mm-hmm.
wrote a bit
Mm-hmm.
longer than what I had expected. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel the world is getting
No, it's
more.
nice. Definitely, definitely. It's nice. Like I feel like now you kind of see where Delipid is coming from, right? Like and
Uh,
what his world is kind of like, right? Like now that uncertainty is slightly being explored, I feel.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing, and it also gave me some idea of creating creatures that have evolved for their own environment rather than trying to construct one environment by myself for them. Try to force them
Mm,
into this pigeonhole that certain beings need to be.
mm,
Yeah, but it's fun, right? The idea of
mm,
having this arboreal kind of animal a Delipid would
mm,
be a humanoid arboreal animal, but rather than climbing trees,
mm,
he's climbing rocky
mm.
wells. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Uh,
vertical shafts. Instead of climbing trees, he's like a monkey that's climbing walls. And
mm, mm.
yeah, it felt kind of fascinating for me. I would like to explore this more often, try to see what it would be
Yeah, yeah,
like.
yeah.
But yeah, that's it from my side. How was your experience
Mm,
going
mm.
live? Uh, I don't know if you can see it, but we have had 4 viewers. So thank you very much, the 4 viewers that we always address. This time you got to
Oh,
see
we
us
have four
live.
viewers. So I didn't
Uh,
know that.
no,
Really?
we have had 4 viewers the whole time, so not all of them have been watching the same time, but
Okay.
we have had 4 people watching in total.
Oh, nice, awesome.
How do you say?
Okay, okay.
How did you find the experience? Is it any different? Yeah, does it make you
Mm.
feel any different?
No, to be honest, like it's the same. I feel like as we were doing it not live. What about you?
Yeah, because I'm doing I can see this analytics and the windows. It feels a bit different to
Mm,
me. It's a bit strange. I'm when you were speaking, I had to check some stream health and some of the
mm,
error messages that were popping up that were saying that your
mm,
viewers um, might be buffering with the video and so on. But
mm, mm.
yeah, other than that, it's not so different. And there are some
Yeah.
messages in the chat as well. Hello to everyone who have wished us hello.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, I would say it has been quite a fun experience. So yeah, let's not go so much longer. We're almost there, 20 minutes long stream. Maybe we should do this
yeah.
a more regular thing, right? Sunday evening,
Mm,
20 minutes. Maybe it's easier for some of the people who might be interested to listen to more of us blabber.
Mm.
and probably give us more discipline to write. I see that we are doing this more often, this every week,
Yep.
and this shows in the progress that we have made in our stories as well. And yeah, so for the viewers, I think they can expect us to continue this way, and maybe once we have this website thing sorted out, then we can start publishing the things so that you can actually read, uh, and then yeah, hopefully we can continue doing this.
Yep.
So, do you have any last things you want to say for this week?
No, no, no. I'm good.
Okay, then thank you very much, everyone. It was fun to do this live. Thank you very much for listening to us. Hopefully, we will do this more often, and hopefully, you would find this in your busy schedule to make some time to listen to us. We would still be posting the live video post production, I would say, but yeah, it was still fun to realize that there were some people listening to us, and thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Then,
Thank you, Shiraz, and
bye.
thank you to the viewers.